Am I the a-hole for bringing up just how much I actually do for our household to my wife? And there's a new update on this story. Originally posted to r/am I the a-hole on October 21st, 2024. My wife, 41 female, and I, 42 male, have been married for 15 years. I apparently surprised her by being capable of doing household chores and tasks, which I didn't think much of. My mom always asked me to help out with chores when I was a kid, so I didn't think it was beneath me or anything. I do think I inherited her need to clean excessively. Like, it's so bad that I can't eat until a mess is dealt with. My mom is an amazing cook. My aunt was a literal chef at a fancy hotel, and my dad loved having barbecues. It was pretty natural to learn from them and pick up a thing or two. The only thing I didn't pick up was how to make a decent cup of tea or coffee. I'm genuinely awful at it. It got to a point where I was handling most of the household chores and taking care of cooking, which I prefer anyways since she comes home exhausted. I've been asking our children, 11 female and 9 male, to do some minor tasks around the house and hopefully teach them this sort of thing too. She has a group of friends who hang out regularly. This time, it was her turn to host the group at her home. I offered to take our children out for the day and it was all set. Before we left, I had to finish up some things for work. The office space is practically on top of our living room, so I could hear what they were talking about the entire time. One of the friends asked how she always kept our house so spotless, and my wife just bragged about how she was responsible for it all. Then they all started talking about their gripes with their marriages. A common theme was how unhelpful their spouses were. I felt pretty uncomfortable, so I just left the office and went out with the kids. This might be a hot take, but I think that people that take responsibility for things that they had nothing to do with are one of the biggest red flags out there. If you don't have the ability to correct, like, oh, hey, this isn't me, and even be like, I'm actually pretty bad about it, but my husband is great, and give those people the praise that they deserve, like, I think that's an indicator of a bad person to the max. I came back after they had left for the night and acted normal until we got to our bedroom. I asked her what was up with that conversation they had and pointed out that I did the cooking and cleaning in our marriage. She told me not to take it personally and that she just wanted to fit in with the struggles of her friends. Now I just feel unappreciated, especially since I don't clearly remember any genuine gratitude for what I do for her. Since then, she's been pretty short with me. She says I'm weaponizing what I'm doing against her and holding it over her head. Chat, is this our first time experiencing weaponized competence? Like, you've heard of weaponized incompetence, but have you ever thought of weaponized competence? And he's not even really holding it over her head. He just wants acknowledgement for it and not telling her friends that it's all her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I actually don't understand this philosophy. Like, why wouldn't you want to brag about your partner to other people? Sucks to suck. My partner's actually really great. Like, that's such a dick on the table experience. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to tell your friends, oh yeah, my partner's awesome. He takes care of the cooking and cleaning for me so I can come home every day and come home to a nice clean space. I don't expect her to compliment me each time I clean or defend me religiously, just a little, my husband is pretty helpful actually. He does his share, would be nice. I can't help but feel like her friends think I'm sort of deadbeat who comes home to relax and neglect her. Damn. Like, I've heard of people lying about their partner to their friends to make them look better, but I've never heard of somebody lying to their friends about their partner to make them look worse. I don't even know what to think of that. Like, this might be really mean of me, but it feels like a very low IQ thing to do. At what point do you benefit shitting on your partner to your friends? And to clarify, shitting on them for something that isn't even real. Like, I can't even imagine that. That's crazy. I don't think this is divorce worthy yet, but I do think this is give her a taste of her own medicine worthy. Like, oh, you don't want to give me credit for this? All right, I'ma stop. I'ma show you what it's actually like to have a husband who doesn't cook and clean for you and doesn't pull their weight, because that's what you want, right? That's what you want to tell your friends. If she wants to relate to her friends, let her. Exactly. This is crazy activity. Maybe she's lying so that OP won't be stolen by one of her friends. That's an insane conclusion to jump to. I can't even lie. Like, what do you mean? Can you not just appreciate your partner being great and sympathize with your friends? Exactly, K-Lava. Like, also too, to me, doesn't it empower your friends to be like, hey, my husband is a piece of shit who doesn't help cook and clean. OP's husband does help. Hey, maybe I should have higher expectations of my partner because I know somebody who has a partner who meets those expectations. Don't get me wrong. I do think OP is going going a little above and beyond the Call of Duty. Like, if I had to put money on it, I think the wife almost has it so good she isn't appreciative of it. Like, I don't really think I got anywhere in this story that OP was saying my wife always expresses how appreciative she is of it, right? Yeah, like, I don't really see anything in this story of him saying, I do the cooking and cleaning and my wife is excessively appreciative of it. Because you should be, bro. If your partner is like, hey, I'll take over this thing that a lot of people look at as massive chores, you better be grateful as fuck. You better be insanely grateful for your partner doing all that shit. I'm gonna stick with what I said. I think OP should give her a taste of her own medicine. Like, show her what it's like to have a shitty husband who doesn't help around the house. Let's go to the update because this only ends poorly, right? I don't think you make 4 updates if it ends with, and my wife realized the flaws in her ways and we lived happily ever after. That doesn't happen on Reddit. Update 1, October 23rd, 2024, about 2 days after the original post. I tried my best to speak to my wife yesterday. I just can't believe that this is the woman I married. I tried speaking with her, telling her that what she did wasn't that big of a deal, but was still not a nice thing to do. She didn't like me bringing it up again and just told me to suck it up and stop bitching about one mistake. She apologized, but in a tone that just sounded like she was just tired of dealing with this. So she doesn't like you bringing up something in your marriage that's a problem or an issue and that you're upset about. I noticed her getting very heated and on the verge of starting an argument, so I backed off and switched to a different topic. I asked if we could adjust our duties at home to be more fair for both of us, since most of our management fell to me. Y'all, this might be a hot take, but I think OP is being too nice. I think OP needs to be more of a dickhead here. He needs to be like, no, this is a problem and my feelings matter. Fuck you. Like, we're talking about this. And I also think he needs to be like, okay, well, if I do a bad job cooking and cleaning and all your friends think that, then I'm going to do that. There will no longer be cooking. There will no longer be cleaning. You can handle that all by yourself if I'm such a bad husband. I mean, pretty much 90% of things like cooking/cleaning, including planning for our date nights or vacations for our family, rely on me. I do think it's an issue that she gets to come home and just tell me that she's tired. Then she got up in my face telling me I had no right to lecture her about chore duties when I'm practically at home most of the time. She completely refused to hear me out and basically told me that what we have works best for our situation. She threw it in my face that she was the moneymaker and that balanced everything out in the end. Even this morning, she was pretty annoyed with me coming downstairs in a bad mood. I think OP's wife is dumb. Like, this isn't what OP is complaining about. He doesn't even really want the balance. He wants the respect put on his name. Like, honestly, I'm getting pissed off because the wife is just making this 80 times harder than it needs to be. Bro just was like, hey, I want you to acknowledge to your friends that I actually do shit around the house. I'm not a normal husband. I pick up the slack that a lot of other husbands traditionally or stereotypically don't do. And she's making it a bigger deal than it needs to be. I'm very sure our kids noticed it too, but I drove them to school after they got ready. When I got back, I noticed that my wife left her packed lunch on our kitchen counter. So now I'm sitting here just feeling like the woman I've known for 15 years hates me. I guess I'll have to push this issue properly even if she gets angry. She's been ignoring my texts and attempts to call her. I can't just let her act like this, especially in front of our children. Yeah, dude, she's acting like a fucking child. How old is she again? 41 and you're acting like you're fucking 11? Like, what? I mean, that's crazy, bro. Y'all, this might be like a little bit fucked up for me to say, but it feels abusive. Does anybody else feel like that? It feels like manipulative. When he goes, hey, this is how I feel about this thing, she turns it around to like, you're making me mad, you're making me upset, and your feelings don't matter. I don't like this, dude. Like, I almost don't think that giving her a taste of her medicine is going to make her learn from this. I think it's going to make her even more mad and more unhinged. It's crazy to be like, yo, divorce after such a small little thing that's such an easy fix, but she's making the easy fix hard as fuck, which is a red flag in itself. Manipulative, yes. Abusive, and it depends on one's definition. It's hard, Squiddy, because like, where do you cross the line for verbal abuse? But I think the biggest thing for me to be like, this might be abusive is the way that OP's reacting to it. Like, he's reacting to someone who's numb to abuse because they've dealt with it for so long they don't even know that it's abuse. Like, he's not looking at this like, where's the line? I guess I'll have to push this issue properly even if she gets angry. Like, that's not the reaction you should have here. Somebody who's able to see through this and isn't conditioned to like like this level of fuckery wouldn't go, this is an issue I have to push properly. It would be my partner is clearly reacting to this wrong, and we either need couples counseling or I need to leave them. I don't know. That's why I feel like it's almost like abuse. Like he's conditioned to this. I feel like we need to be careful throwing around the word abuse because not every bad partner is abusive, and using the term too much waters it down, if that makes sense, which I don't necessarily disagree with that, Squidiot. And then Squidiot also said, she's mean and immature and sucks ass, don't get me wrong, but nothing here overtly screams abusive. Here's what I will say, Squidiot. If the wife was a man, I think we would be saying it's abuse. Me personally, if this is coming from a man, we would observe it as more threatening, which don't get me wrong, coming from the man hater, like I do think it is more threatening, but I think with cases of abuse, we should hold women to a similar standard. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to say you're wrong because I don't think you're wrong, and I think you're making some really great points, but I don't know if this situation is the situation to die on that hill. Honestly, I think it's emotional abuse. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel, Arlo. I feel like I'm a little on the fence here about calling it abuse, but I'm more leaning towards the side of calling it abuse. Maybe in this isolated incident, it's not necessarily abuse. The way he's reacting makes me think this isn't an isolated incident. Let's keep going because there's a lot of updates to this, and I kind of just want to see where it goes. I hope people in the comments of this are telling OP to nut up and like push this on the wife. Update 2, October 24th, 2024. One day after the first update, 3 days after the original post. I think I'm just done at this point. I did something I never did before and went into her phone while she slept. We both know each other's passwords, so it really wasn't difficult. Some of the cheating comments got to me, and I felt pretty paranoid about this situation. Damn, so people were being like, oh, maybe she's in a situation where she's cheating? I would have never put that together, honestly, y'all. Instead, I found a group chat with some of her work friends, different from the other friends she had over. It was just nonstop mockery of me and some of the stuff I did for her. She told them how embarrassed she feels to be with me and that I dote on her like a parent and don't feel like her husband. The lunches I pack for her are humiliating because I had sweets and other treats I know she likes. Chat, are men not allowed to care about their wives? Is that a thing? Is that what we're doing now? They're gonna write that one down in the notepad for when I finally bag a baddie. Don't give her princess treatment that every woman on the internet says that they want. Like, what? That's crazy. I can't believe that. Oh no, he treats you so well. Wee woo. Like, what? Some of her coworkers teased her about the snacks I give her, and she admitted to just throwing them out at work. She doesn't have any issue eating them at home, but at work she throws out my baking? She had some choice words to say about me in her chat, some of which I don't have the courage to type out here. One of her mean pictures was of me on my knees scrubbing a bathroom tile edited to have some sort of dress on, like I was some sort of housewife from the 1960s or something. I just closed her phone and left the bedroom. I confronted her. Wait. You gotta keep this evidence. Screenshots, ASAP Rocky, recordings, everything, because I guarantee y'all when he goes for the divorce, this wife is going to slander him to his kids. I guarantee that's where this is going. He's gonna initiate the divorce and then this woman is going to be an asshole. I confronted her about the chat in the morning and the contents of it, which got her panicking. I focused on our kids this morning and left her to her own devices. It's not like she would have appreciated a kid's lunch anyways. Now she's texting me like crazy at the office, but I think I lost all respect for her and what she has become. Not only does she find me overbearing and embarrassing as a husband, but then I find out she mocks me to her friends and exposes some sensitive relationship issues to her group chat. This will likely be the last update since I don't think she can come back from this. We just celebrated our 15th anniversary last month too. I feel like a loser now after seeing what my wife actually thinks of me. And this is in fact not the last update. We actually have 2 more updates. Damn, bro. Like even this line, y'all, I feel like a loser now after seeing what my wife actually thinks of me. Like, dude, you're not a loser. Your wife is the loser who bagged a bad bitch who would do anything for her and fucking complains about it. That's insane. That's crazy, bro. You're a catch. You're awesome. Any woman would be on their knees begging and pleading for a man who would do all the things that you're doing for her. You just gotta find that one and marry that one. Not this baby back bitch of a woman, bro. Absolute trash. A commenter asked, are you a stay-at-home father? And OP replied, we both work. She makes about $100,000 a year while I make around $70,000. She earns more, but she's definitely not the only income in our household. What makes my job great is that my boss lets me have a lot of flexibility, so I can work from home, take care of the house and kids as long as I give him a heads up. Honestly, bro, I'd take that setup over the extra 30K any day. Good job flexibility is worth an insane amount of money. A part of patriarchy is the conditioning of some women to engage in hypergamy. And even if that's true, there's even more red flags in this than just even like how the wife thinks or the way she talks about her husband. Like, hey dog, you have an issue with your husband, talk to him about it. If you really don't like him making your lunch for you, which absolutely insane, but sure, girl, I guess you're entitled to being attracted to what you're attracted to. Go to him and tell him. Go to him and be like, hey babe, I'm gonna just buy my lunch from now on because I'm not gonna lie, like I feel like a little kid when you make me my lunch. Do I think that's really fucking stupid? Yeah. But go and talk to him. It's such a simple solution. What do you mean? Why are you talking shit about him? Honestly, y'all, it's giving like a nice girl wanting to become a mean girl to fit in with the mean girls. You know what I'm saying? If my girlfriend or wife ever talked about me like this, she would be dropped ASAP Rocky. Just easiest drop of my life. The next update comes November 12th, 2024. About 2 weeks after that last update, 2.5 since the original post. They called it the final update, but then the editor added not the in the parentheses. Oh no, I know I'm going to get some hate for my decision at the end of all this, but I gave my wife one more chance. My brother in Christ. Fucking why? Why? She gave me a real apology for her actions and how she treated me about 2 weeks ago. In her own words, she let her friends' comments at work and her best friends affect her too much. Listen, I know it's not as bad, but it's giving the guy who cheats on his girlfriend, gets caught, starts apologizing and making excuses. Not as bad of an action, but same. Like, no shit, she's gonna give you the apology of her lifetime after she got caught for her actions. No shit is she gonna deflect blame on everybody except herself when she got caught. Oh my God, my dude. Why? My wife wanted to feel included in the groups by playing both sides. One that has a useless husband and one that has a clingy husband. She's not using them as an excuse and did take full responsibility for how poorly she treated me, which is a plus. The bamboozle levels are off the chart because I don't believe a goddamn word that this wife is saying. She suggested some sort of marriage counseling for us and insisted on doing the planning herself to show me she's dead serious on wanting to make this work. She's copied me in her communications with the counselor, but it'll still be a while before our first appointment. She stepped up in the home too, doing more tasks without me asking. The compliments I used to get have also made a return, so I do feel a little more appreciated. It's just so giving. You got caught cheating and now you're on your knees begging. Or similar to like when somebody breaks up with their partner because they're like, I've been asking you to do this thing for years and you're never doing it. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, now I'll do it. For a month, I'll do all the things that I need to do to fix this relationship. And then they just give up after a month. My wife promised me that she wouldn't lie to her friend group anymore and give me the credit I deserve. The work friends I don't know about, their opinions on me will forever be as they are, even though she talked to them. Part of this feels disingenuous since it took us getting into a bad spot for this to happen. Maybe it's just resentment talking. Nah, bro, your resentment is cooking. It is disingenuous as fuck. I firmly believe that. I just hope this works out for our sake and the kids, and know she's not been cheating or had some guy in her ear telling her these things. A lot of DMs are asking about that. My brother in Christ, you are being bamboozled. That's crazy, man. I don't think there's any excuse for that at all. Yo, how hard is it to just appreciate your partner? Is it really that hard just to be like, hey, yo, you do amazing things for me. Let me brag about you to my friends. Let me show you that I appreciate the extra arm and a leg that you're giving to make my life easier. Like, is it really that hard? I haven't been in a relationship in a while, but to me, it doesn't seem that hard. 15 years and she was talking hella shit for how long? Like, how can you trust them again? That's what I'm thinking, Elster Stairs. I think the fact that she has at least shown willingness to go to a marriage counselor is at least a step in the right direction. But Sanamira, I think it's all disingenuous. Like, I don't think she actually wants marriage counseling. I think she's just like, oh shit, I've been caught. He might divorce me. What's the checklist of things that I can do to save my marriage? I don't think she actually wants to do that checklist. Y'all ready for this final update? I hope he divorces her, high key. The last and new update for this story, December 4th, 2024, titled Update on Progress Thus Far. My wife and I went through our first marriage counseling session. At first, it was extremely awkward having to talk about our problems to someone outside our marriage. A bit silly considering I'm here doing it on Reddit, but in person with zero anonymity is something else. I won't say everything that we discussed, but my wife ended up sharing her thought processes on how things escalated this far. Years of her having me do most of the things in our home had left her complacent. So she took me for granted. I could have fucking told you that, dog. Like, no shit. Our marriage counselor suggested that both of us find some individual therapy, her for her tendency to try and fit in everywhere, mine for trying to take on everything without wanting to ask for any help. We both like our counselor, so we'll be visiting her again for another appointment. That's something we're still working on, but for now, we've been taking things a bit more evenly in regards to everything in our relationship. Chores are split around 70-30, and we're planning a cooking schedule that's fair for both of us. What I'm happy about is her taking the initiative with our dates again. Now it doesn't feel like a one-sided effort. I can't wait for her to be the one leading the romance. She's also set the record straight with her group of friends, so I'm not a useless husband to them. That was also pretty awkward, but no one reacted in a dramatic way. See, I want to know how she's setting the record straight. Like, is she going up to them and just being like, all of a sudden changing the narrative? Like, oh, actually, my husband is really, really helpful? Or is she going up and being like, hey guys, so I'm kind of a douchebag. I was saying this to fit in, and it's not fair to my husband, and I made him really upset, and I'm super sorry about it, but like, my husband's fucking great. I don't know. I need more detail. The only issues are her work friends. She's on the lookout for a better job, not for pay, but just looking for a less unhealthy work environment. I just wanted to thank you for the support and advice I've gotten from all of you. I have a feeling that we can make it through this. Listen, I would never prey on someone's downfall like that, but I kind of don't believe her. Me personally, y'all, I'm waiting for the mask to fall. It doesn't seem like a one-time fucky-wucky to me, because like I truly believe if she hadn't been caught like that, she would have kept participating in the behavior. Like, she got called out for the behavior. It wasn't until she got really caught red-handed and that it jeopardized her marriage that she was willing to change it, which I don't know. That's like not very noble to me, and it doesn't feel authentic. I wouldn't be surprised if we got another update way later on that's like, yeah, so she went back to doing exactly what she normally does, or I caught her talking shit about me again to her friends when she shouldn't have been. That husband is so much better than me. Nah, me too. I just think there's a level of disrespect that you should put up with from your partner, and this crosses that line to me. Base level, your partner should not be wanting to talk shit about you when there's nothing to talk shit about. Sure, if OP was actually lazy as hell and not helping out around the house, all power to her. But the fact that she wants to change the narrative of her relationship to fit in with her friends is a character flaw to me, and a very unattractive one. I did see a couple people in chat, like the Duck Father, saying, I mean, if he feels like it's making progress, we have to hope it works. Here's the thing is, I don't think OP is intuitive enough to actually know if they're making progress authentically. Like, nothing from the story and these updates really made me feel like OP is aware and able to stand up for himself. And I think that's just bleeding into this. Like, I think it is a self-respect thing. You need to have the self-respect to not put up with this shit. Like, even at the beginning, the way that she was reacting was just unacceptable from the start. Maybe this is mean of me to say, but I just don't have confidence in OP that he knows what making progress actually is, and how to distinguish making progress with her just doing what needs to be done to save their relationship. It's scummy, but like OP seems to want this to work and shows how stand-up he is. I'm biased due to my background, but I kind of respect him trying to not just give up. But I think that then raises the question, like, what merits giving up? Like, I think we too many times see a lot of people who don't give up on their relationship who should. Like, we can all think of a friend who's dating somebody who is just an absolute piece of garbage, and they want that to work. Should we respect them trying to make something work when it's like clearly not supposed to be together? I stayed with my shitty ex so long specifically because I felt like if I left him, I was giving up on him. That in itself, Mbem, I think is a problem. Like, that's the narrative that somebody who is a bad partner will push on their partner to make them feel bad for wanting more out of their relationship. Like, I don't know if this is the case in your relationship, but I know people in similar positions where their partners tell that to them. They're like, well, you're just giving up on me. Even though what you're really doing is demanding more out of the relationship that you need. For you to leave, that means that you're giving up on me. That's not you standing up for what you deserve. That's you giving up on me. Don't get me wrong. I think there are things that you can give up on in a relationship that like make you a bad person. But in this case, I think if he were to leave, I don't think he would be giving up on the wife. I don't know if there's necessarily a right answer here, but I think OP should have at least done a separation with her. Oh, it's the boy. I have a bead. I have a bead. You're so silly. Oh, he purring. It looked like a treat time for you. Ooh, it's the silly handsome man. You can say hi to all your fans. They don't actually care about me. They just care about you. This is your channel. I just make the video. He's the star of the show. Oh, thank you.